Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Marsh. I'm one of your hosts, JB, and of course, with me is the amazing and the mighty Mark Marsh.
Yes, we're back.
So, really, really good to be back in a semi-regular schedule now. And I suppose just to kind of shout things out, there's a lot going on in terms of the world. Of course, we've got Mental Health Month for men, which is something that I was going to make a bigger topic, but to be honest, I'm kind of fragile with it. We'll definitely touch upon it, but there's definitely been a few things that I've almost come to terms with lately. Other things, and I apologize, I couldn't really give this the justification I deserved, but I've got a little bit of pride with Stitch here. But this top is massive on me now, so I'm probably gonna have to get rid of a load of t-shirts. And
We can
obviously the
just see the top of
background.
his face.
Yeah, I need to like up it up. Look at that.
Did you
That's a
get that
good
from?
thumbnail, isn't it?
Did you get it from the actual Disney store?
I didn't actually. I forget where I got this from. I think I got it from Asda because they
I'm
sometimes
wearing
do,
my
like.
Kevlar
Oh,
t-shirt,
nice. I like
custom
that.
made for the gym.
So big. But look, and in the background, of course, we're in the middle of the FIFA World Cup, which I'm really excited about. I'm not really a football person, I'll be honest with you, but when
It's
it is
coming
something
home,
big like
England.
FIFA,
It's coming home with the
you know what?
win.
You joke, I'm sure you're joking, but I actually kind of feel this is copium, this is grade A, English copium, but I really do feel like there is a chance, right? Now, I know that people were
We almost
disappointed.
won it last time, so I
Like,
thought this is our redemption arc.
I mean, have you been keeping up with all of the games? I assume you have, but I don't want
Yeah,
to.
because I work in a retail zone in Tesco's. We have we have all the times when all the games are playing.
Oh, nice. That's actually
So like
really
I'm
cool.
during the day when I don't hear about the football.
Now, let's talk about that because obviously I know that football or soccer for people in America, although it's football, it's maybe not as much of a big thing over there. I've no clue. But obviously, shout out to the US. I'm sure they got battered by who did they get battered by last time? Mexico, actually. I think Mexico beat the US yesterday. But shout out to everyone. I mean, comment down below what country you're supporting. But obviously here, Team England, Three Lions, let's go. But to be honest, as a non-football person, right, that first game against Croatia was actually really entertaining. So I never watch any like league matches or anything, but that first game against Croatia, I feel, was an absolute classic. There was never a boring moment. It was just pure action. And obviously you've got who was it that scored? Harry Kane twice, Jude Bellingham once, and Marcus Rashford once. So a really good group of lads, and it really did feel a bit different. Now, I know the next game against Ghana was kind of a stinker. And it wasn't that we lost, it was we got a point at the end of the day. You had to take the point and run. But that was a bloody boring game.
It wasn't like a draw, so we
Yeah,
didn't actually
literally
lose.
0-0. So we got a point.
Because
It's another
our
step
next
towards
game's
qualifying.
tomorrow at 10.
And yeah, it's literally versus Panama. So
Yeah,
depending on what time we release this, that's probably already happened. We might even be World Cup champions by the time
it's
this
because
gets released. You never know.
it's typical. It's on tomorrow at 10. I'm gonna watch it, but then I have work the next day, like opening up.
Really? See, I hate that.
I
I
I,
think
I hate how the time zone difference is like so late in the day. Like, why couldn't you just have it in the middle of the day?
literally, I think the way that the Euros worked is we did because they were hosted in Germany, which I'm sure is just an hour or two out, if that. Whereas it's America, Canada, and Mexico that are hosting this one. So it makes me feel like we're getting robbed of that experience a bit because I work in a relatively busy office. And I kind of feel like I'd love the experience of watching it with all of them and cheering on.
Do
Um,
you have aircon in your office?
I do actually. It's funny you mentioned that, because it just recently got
So many
fixed.
places don't have aircon, and it's
It's
like I'm so
gorgeous
glad
aircon in
that
my office.
when I worked at Southern Co-op, they wouldn't allow the heating on some, but they wouldn't allow the aircon.
What?
Um,
That's
yeah, so
Mr.
like
Crab
it
shit, that is.
because
Get away from me,
just
mister!
because it cuts in between the budget, and it was like, all right. costs them too much to run the AC.
What? That's ridiculous. I am definitely all on board for the idea of some type of workplace heat cab. I mean, people in America, I know they troll us because our temperature now, this is our big heat wave and we're all dying, is apparently nothing compared to what the Americans face. But I think something that people don't understand, and it's the common argument, this I'm not saying anything new, but it's just that our houses are just not built for any type of heat. You know, we're because England's so cold we like to keep our heat in, so all of our houses are kind of like insulated and stuff. Whereas when it is hot, we are basically in ovens, and we don't have any air conditioning. In terms of like office spaces, I mean, there's some houses that will, but most British houses don't have air conditioning. And even my ceiling fan up there doesn't work. So I'm just looking at your fan longingly, Mark, because I'm
Yeah,
going through it. I mean, it's going to help for my weight loss if I
the
just sit
best
here melting.
investment money. This is a shark fan, okay? You know it's badass when it's called a shark.
Literally, imagine if they just got the guppy. Here we have the guppy. It's like it reminds me of Romeo and Juliet. You know where there's the kitty cat and then the Terra Firminator. It's like that. The shark. You've never been colder than this. I love it.
Probably the best £170 investment ever.
See, I do think 170 might be a bit steep, but then I
And
just think about how
it
hot
has a
it is,
water
and I'm
tank
like,
as well.
really?
So uh, yeah, so there is a water tank. I can't really show it. Well, there's a water tank funnel
Yeah.
system where you put water in and it sprays cold mist.
Oh my
I have that on at
God.
night time, so I literally face the camera because I've got a remote as well, so I could literally move this anywhere I want
What a
and just
fun,
have
quirky.
mist.
I mean, this is the type of conversation I'm assuming you'd only really get in the UK because the Americans, they're great. They've got their air conditioning, whereas we're literally just here like, yeah, okay, so when it gets a bit hot, we have these different settings and we bring in the fans, whereas the Americans are like, yeah, doop,
In the UK, we only get summer for a short period
yeah, like a
throughout the
week if
year,
that, maybe
a
two
week if
weeks.
that, and we're the only country that will just argue about anything. We argue that it's too cold and that we want the sun. And when it's sun, we go, oh, it's too fucking hot. I wish it would just rain already. Rain comes. Oh, sun wasn't here long enough for me to enjoy it. We can't win. We will argue about
Yeah.
anything. So, people think, oh, you're arguing about you don't have AC. I'm thinking, mate, we don't prepare for shit. We knew there was going to be a heat wave months ago, but we're British. We don't give a fuck till the last minute.
Like it's so true. Like we could genuinely have this whole episode just talking about the temperature or the weather, and that's kind of really sad. But I think it is definitely a hallmark of what
Welcome to the
makes
weather
this
station,
country
where
work.
we
Like
bring you the top quality news that the broadcast don't want to tell you
it's
about.
like stats. They could. I'm surprised they've not done that. Like stats because they have the weather channel. But unironically, I think if you had like a match of the day, but like weather of the day talk show podcast, I actually
Oh,
think that would do really well. Just two people talking about like the weather all day.
I I use my Nintendo Wii for my news. So I
Oh.
homebrew my Wii to bring back the news and the broadcast channel because that's the
Oh.
whole point I like to having the Wii is that you can use it to catch up on news, sports, and the weather without all this ad bullshit. And it just tells you what's going on in the world, who's blowing up who's selling the most drugs, and if it's hot or cold today. So I brought it back, and every morning when I wake up for work, I turn on my Wii. But okay, let's look at the news globally. What's going on? Who's Trump's? What's Trump doing? We already know our situation. Number 10, a cats live, but probably reign more than all our MPs combined. Pretty much our country's run by a cat at this point.
Yeah, the grand cat of Downing Street. Um,
Then you
the
got the
number one in
weather
our home.
forecast. So I'm thinking the Wii is perfect. And I load up my phone. I try and bring up a news station and I get an ad saying, oh, you want to pay to have ad free? Oh, all right then. And it tells me news in other countries. I don't even give a fuck what's happening in Spain. I want to know what's happening in my local area.
Yeah, I hate how things have got so commercialized. Like, you literally have like important information, come like
Oh, Spain's here.
alert.
New world like
There are
heat
10
records.
pedos in the
Okay.
area.
Yeah,
10 pedos in your local area, and you'll go, the Sky News reports that there are 10 pedos in your immediate area. These people have just been released and are extremely hostile and dangerous. These people are, you need to subscribe and pay £5
yeah.
a month to get the rest of this article. And it's like, what?
And you
Like,
get up the news station and they're like, oh, someone got stabbed in a New York subway station. I'm thinking, what's it got to do with fucking me? I'm all the way over here. Okay,
although
yes,
th
he's dead.
thoughts
I'm
on
sorry for
prayers,
that, but it's like I just want to know what's happening in my area,
yeah,
the
yeah.
UK.
I mean, to be
And it's just
fair,
like,
there are some places where I do feel like it's something important. Like I know America's all sorts of crazy at the moment, but I do feel like, sociologically speaking, what happens to America today will happen to us, um, in a couple of years or a year, and on on a different scale. Like, but I do feel like we should and could learn a lot from American politics and society. But will
well,
we? Absolutely not. Um,
if you've seen the movie V from Vendetta, that's what the UK is going to be. It's only a matter of time. We are literally going to be living in the moment,
but we are the moment.
causing uprising.
Bam is the moment. Speaking
That's
of,
literally what's happening. It's going to be just like V for Vendetta.
do you have any predictions for England v Panama tomorrow? Any goal predictions?
So I'm going to place a bet that we're going to be 2-1.
That's safe, actually. But then again, I was such a cocky bitch. I went into England v Ghana predicting like 3-0 to us, and obviously that didn't go. But yeah, I would be happy with a 2-1 England. Who do you reckon scores? I reckon it's going to be Rashford, and
Oh, I don't really want to say because the
I
last
think
time I bet
Rashford.
money on a player the score didn't even score at all.
I'm going to be unconventional and say Rashford and Rice. Um, but I know people are going to go, what about Harry Kane? What about, that's fair.
I
What about
predict we're going to get a
Bellingham?
corner and he's going to go straight in.
But I
Not
think
straight in, he's going to
I think
do a corner shot
Declan
and go
Rice,
in.
Declan Rice, Marcus Rashford. I think Rashford scores, and I hope they start him within the first half. And I think Rice puts it over the edge at the last maybe 10, 20 minutes of the second half. So that's my grand prediction. I won't put any bets on it because I kind of feel like I'd be
What?
jinxing England.
Ah, you got to
Um,
put a bet. I'm putting a bet
uh,
down.
I just feel like I just feel like I'd be jinxing it. Like if I bet that England will win, obviously I know logically it won't have any impact on the game, but in my mental headspace, I'm like, I don't just want to bring that energy into the world.
I'm putting money down that they're going to go all the way and bring it home.
I think they will. I hope they will. Like, why would they not? I mean, obviously people were upset that we didn't bring on like, Cole Palmer, but honestly, I like this guy, this Thomas Tuchel. I like what he's doing. I like the energy he brings, and if nothing else, he's something different, right? So, hey, this year's as good as any, right? There is some housekeeping. We've spoken about the World Cup, we've spoken about the energy. Oh, okay. Any good new TV shows that you've been watching lately?
God, okay, I'll be totally honest. I have not been watching any TV.
Usually, see, here's the thing, because every year,
That
Millie and I do like lists, like what movies have we seen this year, and we have like 20, 30 movies. But I just sat down thinking, I just don't watch any new TV shows. So I think I have
I've
comfort
been
shows, like
watching old stuff that
exactly.
like I'm subscribed to Crunchyroll and I have been watching some anime on there, but I don't really feel like that counts because it's just because it's all on a streaming site.
Well, I guess if it's new, it will. It's just I like comfort shows, so I'll put on The Office or um. The Walking Dead, you know what I mean? Shows that I know that I've liked and will just
Yeah,
find joy in. Whereas it's been so long since I've actually
like
found a
Rick
new
and
show.
Morty.
Whereas
I'm loving watching that at the moment.
even then,
Or
I'd say that
Solo Opposites. That's a
I
good
love
one.
Solar Opposites, yeah. But even one of my favorite new
American Dad,
shows, it was It Welcome to
because
Derry.
of Roger the Alien. I think
But
that's
again,
the.
yeah, that was tied to a franchise.
I was
Um,
watching Rugrats earlier,
oh, I love the Rugrats.
like
I
the original Rugrats, but not the new Paramount one, the actual Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon.
You've got Rugrats on DVD, don't you? Didn't you find
Yeah,
like physical? That's brilliant. That is.
yeah. I got VHS Rugrats. I got some DVD ones. I'll still say like because the the Rugrats on Paramount Plus because they rebooted the Rugrats. It's basically the exact so all the episodes that they released on Paramount Plus on the new Rugrats. It's basically a former copy of the original, but changed slightly to adapt to modern scenarios. So like smartphones are in there and stuff that kids can relate to. It's still the same episode. Like the plot's still the same in each episode, but they just changed it where it fits that child's generation.
I've been watching a lot of the only new thing that I've watched actually was Tiptoe, which I thought was amazing. It had a bit of Russell T Davis-isms, but really a great show. But people have been recommending so much to me. Like this House of the Dragon, apparently that's quite good and that's new. I've never seen. I
I
mean, there's a Game of
started
Thrones
watching
spin-off,
that.
is it? Is it good?
Yeah, so it's a Game of Thrones prequel. Um, not really prequel. It's but so it's set in the same universe, but it's set years before Game of Thrones took place. So
Hmm, that's
I want to
interesting.
say it's a prequel because it's set before the actual main series, which it is. But I started watching it a few years back, and I just stopped because I wanted to wait till more episodes were out so I could just binge watch it. Because I hate being kept on cliffhanger. Like, fuck, it got so really good because Matt Smith is in it.
Hmm. I like that because that's the type of thing that I do. Because I just never. The thing is, right? I think it's always good to think about. We'll watch a new movie because that's either a couple of hours on a streaming website or it's an event out to the cinema. Whereas TV shows, it's kind of like you've got to consider it's going to be 6 hours at least if it's an hour per episode or longer. So I think it's more of a commitment to think about watching a new show. Every show that I've watched, apart from Tiptoe, it's literally things connected to other universes like It Welcome to Derry. I've not seen season two of this yet, but I really thought that Ted season one was really funny. Um, Ted season one. There's another one actually. I tried to watch the Office spin-off, The Paper, which was okay actually. I think it will find its footing if it keeps going, but The Paper was fine. But again, these are all just connected to other things. Um, so I need to start watching more TV shows. What about movies? I really loved your review of Toy Story 5. What I'll say is
Yes.
I've watched a few new ones since on the last show we did. A surprising one, The Sheep Detectives. To look at the trailers, you just think it's a stupid kids
That's
movie.
on Amazon Prime, isn't it?
I think it is now, yeah. But
Yeah.
genuinely, it's really, really good. I'm not ready to say it's my movie of the year yet, but it's definitely a contender because it's one of those where it's like what we would, you know what, when we say nowadays, and I hate sounding like an old person, but oh, kids nowadays, their shows are all slop, AI slop. The stuff we grew up with was proper stuff. But I definitely got that vibe with the Sheep Detectives because it reminded me of the type of thing we would have grown up watching. And then we'd sit and see a kids movie in the cinema today and think, oh, do you remember when the Sheep Detective came out when we were kids? There's no way they'd get away with that today because of all the emotion in it. Nowadays it would just be a fart joke to kind of break up that scene. So it reminded me very much of classic kids movie. Still, I guess a kids family movie, but like
Yeah. And
surprisingly
what you
good.
said about back in our day and that it used to be better. You know, back in our day with our shows, they actually had people like me and you in an office doing storyboards and coming up with these episodes without nowadays it's all like you said they use AI to add the plot and it does all the work for them.
Like,
And you could
oh, did you
tell
ever?
which but shows are AI scripted. Because I hate how a lot of anime now is using a lot of AI to
Mm,
save up on costs. So the animation looks terrible. Like there's no
Jesus.
work done. It's like all they done was copy a good manga or light novel that is successful, run it for an AI to create this ghastly abomination, and have the worst voice actors trying to voice them. Like, yeah, we did it.
I like that. I was, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Um,
well done, team.
like there's because some things, and this was before my time. Maybe you remember this. This was brutal, but someone from work showed me a show that he used to watch called The Animals of Farthing Wood. Did you ever watch that?
No, I watched the
It's
Magic Roundabout.
it's literally like Game of Thrones, but with animated animals. So this was a full kids show, but like with the most brutal death. So spoiler alert, there's a couple in the show called Mr. and Mrs. Pheasant, and basically Mrs. Pheasant, and this isn't a joke, is genuinely getting domestically abused throughout the show. And by the time you get to episode 3 or 4, a farmer shoots Mrs. Pheasant, takes Mrs. Pheasant into the barnyard, plucks her, and then cooks her, and leaves her out on the table like for dinner. And Mr. Pheasant then swoops down to try and get her, sees that she's all like cooked and stuff, and then gets shot himself. Now that's a kid's show. Now I don't want it to get back to those days, because there's Animals of Farthing Wood and Teen
Well,
Titans Go. I think my sweet spot is right in the middle. Think, Spectacular Spider-Man, Sheep Detectives. I do think we had a nice medium, but
well,
that
Warner
Animals of
Bros.
Farthing
used to
Wood
do
was brutal.
some stuff on that level with Looney Tunes back in the day,
Oh
with
God.
Bugs and Daffy, like Daffy doing Hell Hitler.
Oh my God. That must have been literally like anti-Nazi stuff, which is good.
Back when people could take a joke and wasn't soft.
Well, was it a joke though, or was it? Because I know that they aired them through wartime as almost like a way to mock Hitler. Because that's the type of thing that we like to do, like who do you think you were kidding, Mr. Hitler? Stuff like that. Or in Captain America, when you've got Captain America punching a fake Hitler. Um, I do think it's interesting to look at stuff from that era to think about how if that happened nowadays, maybe you would get the Teen Titans goes like making, Hitler jokes as a way to unite the West against fascism, which I think is good. It's such a timepiece. Like we'll probably have like shows that mention COVID that came out in the last couple of years. That in say 50 years time, people go, "What
Yeah.
was that? Could you imagine that?" So I do think media is a good way
Well,
to.
son, we had to isolate in our rooms. We couldn't leave our house for
How did you
years.
how did you manage it? Well, I was isolating for 10 years before that, and I'm still isolating now because I'm antisocial. Oh,
Uh,
what else?
and all the people that had normal jobs get to stay home and get paid for it. But no, the fucking people working retail had to go to work. Oh, food retail, should I say? So yeah, well, all you people in your normal 9 to 5 jobs
Yeah.
and retail shops that weren't a necessity could get to go home and be paid by the government. Yeah, which added to our debt that is still rising.
Oh,
Did you get paid to stay at home?
did you get? What did you ask? Not what your country can do. You know what? I had like a good and bad deal through COVID because COVID literally came. They deferred my year, my master's degree, so I was unemployed throughout the lockdown, the first major lockdown. So I wasn't getting paid by the government, but I also just wasn't getting paid. So I was like, what do I do? And actually, coincidentally, that's when I started the JBN Millie channel. Because I was like, yeah, we're going to get monetized in no time. And then we're just going to live off, the 20, 30 pounds that roll in every week. And then it was like, no, you're not going to get monetized for like another 6 months. So I was like, oh, what do I do? But I survived in
Please
the end,
donate. I'm
obviously.
poor.
Um, but no, I kind of missed the piece of it. But I wouldn't wish that on anyone yet. Other movies, scary movie I watched it. And scary movies, genuinely speaking, not my thing. It was Millie that wanted to see it, but it was fine.
I liked it. I thought it's what we needed, a scary movie back to the roots that
Yeah,
still took the mick out of the other movies because they knew that three, four, five were terrible.
yeah, I think because it's not my thing, it's really not my type of humor. There were some things that I like because I always like it when I know what movies they're parodying. So obviously they did Scream 5, some of Scream 6. They did Get Out. I actually really like that sequence where it gets all whimsical. What else? They did The Substance, but I've not seen The Substance, but I knew what it was because of the aesthetic. What other
There
movies
was
did they
so
do?
many. There was stuff that they cut out. Um, like Smile 2. They were made a
Hmm.
reference to that. They cut that out.
Oh, I think it was really good to see Doofy. I think Doofy is one of like the funnier characters. Oh, and then
And
Doofy going on about COVID with all the hand sanitizer and stuff. Like,
yeah, and he's still isolating himself.
it's like Doofy. Have you not
But
seen the news?
it confused me because like in the first movie when it was Doofy who was the killer, he
Yeah, it's like some
walked away
sexy
normal.
Doofy.
Like yeah, like he was just acting Doofy to throw people off. But they never brought that back up in the in the movie. And I thought, oh, they were just gonna like when he had the showdown with the killer, he gets killed the exact same way.
Oh, as Dewey, yeah.
Yes, Dewey in the movie. But I thought he would have swapped his personality and gone back to the normal guy, the cool doofy one. But no, I just
That would have
thought,
been fun.
yeah, I was
Uh,
waiting for that. Thinking, oh, they didn't do that. They must have forgot.
but yeah, like I say, I think it was good to see like that type of comedy
Or,
on the big
or the
screen again.
church,
But
the church with the I'm not gay anymore.
yeah, what movie was that
What?
parodying? Because it was fun, but what movie was that?
Oh, I don't know, but it was just
It's like I
the
have
stuff
some
he
good
came out
news.
with.
I am now 100% straight. Oh, completely.
Yeah,
It's like
not
what was
very
it like?
no.
And everyone in the audience like, oh Lord,
Oh Lord.
save this man.
Oh,
Oh my God, that's me basically watching Scooby-Doo 2002 with Geller, and then I go straight to seeing Jonathan
I
Bailey, and I'm like,
still hate
yeah,
how they
never
cut
mind.
one scene from the Scooby-Doo movie because it was too scary for the test audience. It's the
Mm,
one where Daphne walks into the women's changing rooms and it's Velma possessed with a bunch of other girls dancing on the table, and she
yeah,
does that weird screech um, sound, and apparently that was too scary for the test viewers, so they cut that scene from the movie and became the
yeah.
deleted scene. I thought, as a kid watching that deleted scene, okay, yeah, that was a bit scary, but come on, it fitted the vibe of the movie. And
Exactly.
watching it as an adult, I'm like, they should have really added that in because that was gold.
I mean,
Like,
I'm always going to be an advocate for releasing the full cut of that movie because I think it won't damage anything now. Because the people that grew up with what we got, like me and you, it's now a beloved movie for us. So just seeing more is not going to do anything. And people seeing here's the 20-year-old version of the full length aren't going to go, oh, well, we won't watch Scooby anymore. Um, because it's already old, it's been established. So I think if they do have the footage, which I think they can get it. Um, yeah, release the full cut. I don't care if that's on HBO Max or whatever they call it nowadays.
I wish I could
Just
have
put it
seen that
out there.
on the big screen.
Yeah, same.
It's when you look. I remember Scream, the first Scream movie. That watching that as a kid, um, because we had it on VHS when it got released on VHS. That was terrifying. I was like, fuck it out, but it was good.
I had to give up. It was the first horror movie I ever tried watching. We used to live part-time in Cyprus where my parents had a house, and my parents and my older sister, there was this DVD rental place called Matrix, and they got Scream, and they said, "Okay, JB, when we put this on, it's gonna be past your bedtime, so you go up to sleep." And me being the dick that I was like, "No, I don't want to go to sleep. I want to try this." And they said, "Absolutely not." So I went upstairs in a sulk, and then waited for everyone to get to sleep, and I thought, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna go back downstairs. I'm gonna get that DVD out the player and then put it in my DVD player, and I'm just gonna watch it myself. And I got to the scene, where Casey is discovered hung up on the tree with like her guts
Yeah.
out, and I was like, yeah, no, absolutely not. I'm not continuing that. So I stopped. I never ever watched Scream again until like 2021. Dead ass, and now I love it. But yeah, it was the first horror movie I ever tried to watch, and I failed epically. But it was purely
Because
just my own
it falls under
ignorance.
the slasher category. So yes, it's a horror, but it's more of a slasher.
Yeah, that's my thing. Because I like horror, but the horror that horrifies me the most is when it's a human hurting a human. All this monster stuff, I'm kind of fine with it, but I tend to not like slashers as such. But Scream, I think, is just different, isn't it? It's like slasher plus. You care about the characters more than the scene or the slasher themselves. So that's where I like it. I don't just like mindless violence. Like I'm judging this because I've never seen them, but I don't ever see myself where it like seeing the Saw movies, just because I think, and you can correct me, that it is literally just people hurting people because gory movie. But yeah, like that type of movie just doesn't appeal to me.
But
Um, I,
Chainsaw Massacre.
yeah, like literal just bloodfest things. I'm curious to watch Blood and Honey. Yeah, the Winnie the Pooh one, but
Oh, I like that.
was it because I like wacky and irreverent things. Like this is a
It,
slasher technically,
it
but
was a
Cabin
fan
in the
film,
Woods,
wasn't it? It
I
was originally
believe,
meant to
yeah,
be. It's
at least an independent movie.
yeah, because it's filmed, but the actual place where it is literally near where I am. It's like an hour and a half drive.
Really? You should do that. You should do that. That should be your next vlog, like visiting the set of Blood and Honey, the Mark edition.
Yeah,
Hey, the
because
Mark.
even the stone monuments, those stones that stand up, it was called. That's an hour drive from me.
Or who was that dick? You could do like a J Station type video where you take a Ouija board out to the filming location of Winnie the Pooh. Like, I did a Ouija board reading in Blood and Honey location at 3 a.m. and you can clickbait it like, you'll never believe what happened in the Winnie the Pooh woods at 3 a.m.
I'll just come out the woods in a Winnie the Pooh costume. Ah, I'm gonna kill you.
See, you could do that, right? You could vlog it, and we'll cut this out of the episode, but I will wear the suit and I'll hide in the location and I'll literally be like a paid actor just coming on like,
Oh, it's real. Ouija board's real.
Honey!
I got a Ouija board downstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, an actual
Maybe,
proper one.
maybe then at some point,
I
maybe for a
even have an
Halloween special, we could have a
actually I
seance.
have an actual crystal ball as well.
See, I know that we've got a lot of,
And I got all
because
the
it's in
tarot cards.
America, I know we've got a lot of Christian viewers who may not appreciate such things. But now that we've dipped our toe in the water, maybe for our Halloween special this year, we should just dedicate part of it to have a genuine seance. Like, I'd be up for
Grab a
that.
Ouija board and try to speak to
We,
spirits.
yeah, we could do a virtual tarot card reading. I'm sure we could. That's not too offensive, is it? I
We
don't
end
know.
up getting haunted by my friends.
Like, tarot cards are quite wholesome, I feel like. You
Tarot
know.
cards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
could
think
do
the
that.
Ouija board is again another.
So let us know.
Um,
Type in the chat a yes or no to the Ouija board. I think we definitely will do tarot cards for Halloween at least. But let us know. Type in chat if you want a Ouija board, and we'll try and connect with the Queen, Queen Elizabeth or someone, and tell her that we've brought it home and that England are now the champions of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Get it, boys.
where it should be, because it's home where it belongs.
Queen Elizabeth, it's come home.
And
Get
the Queen
it!
just rises up from her coffin and goes,
I
"It's coming home,
will.
lads."
Three lines on. Oh, I love that. Oh, okay. Toy Story 5. Loved your video on that. Because I really liked it. I really did like Toy Story 5. Um, and again, my favorite one is number two. So here's the thing, right? I think I always don't like the idea of nostalgia winning the day. And I have a suspicion that that's what it did with 5. But I just feel like it cured me. Like, I've loved Toy Story 1 and 3. Especially that scene at the end of 3. Perfect ending. But 2 was the one that really got me. You know that flashback with Jesse, that when somebody
Yeah,
loved me, that actually wounded me seeing that as a kid. So when it now got, and I won't spoil too much, but when it got to the scenes that we get in number 5, I feel like a part of me that was still like, 6-year-old kid watching that just with tears streaming that was broken, just kind of a blanket was put around that kid inside me. So it made me feel cured and full. That's why it's a bit like watching Andrew Garfield Spider-Man save Zendaya in No Way Home. It was a bit of
knowing
you
that he
healed in
could
that
save
moment.
his,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it was a bit like that for me,
he could
Toy
save his
Story
Gwen.
5. Like they could have easily ended it with 3, and maybe people think they should have, but number 5 healed me in a way that I didn't know I needed healing from. But yeah, that's why I love number 5. And I'm gonna get it on Blu-ray. They did some good stuff, and obviously they sidelined a few of the other toys. I would rather them have the toys sidelined to tell the story that they wanted than to water down the story that they wanted to tell to make room for the other toys. You can argue it's bad writing because if you've got a sandbox of characters, you should know what to do with them all, and I get that argument as well. But hey, I enjoyed what we got, and maybe there'll be space for the others in the next one. What else? What else? What else? Oh, Supergirl. Literally, I'm just back from seeing
Yes,
Supergirl.
I want to see that on Sunday
Yeah.
after
So no,
work.
no spoilers, but you've probably already seen, but I do have the famous foreskin fleshlight mug.
Is that actual?
It literally looks like a
It
fleshlight,
looks like
doesn't
a
it?
foreskin. What's it
So
meant
this,
to be, really?
because this is, so it's the Supergirl. Yeah, sorry, but this is the trench coat, and it is literally a
I'm sorry, I
foreskin.
thought it was actually a foreskin flashlight couple. I'm thinking, damn, they went all out. Damn.
Like, I mean. I
Oh.
know we've got a male loneliness epidemic,
Where did you
but I
get that
mean
from?
it's this is from the Arc Cinema. I don't know if you've got Arc Cinemas alone, but it's the ARC
No.
Arc Cinema.
Oh, I really want you to pick me up one now and ship it to me.
Okay, I mean
Oh,
look at that.
that's
It's the most zesty thing that come for your foreskin beverages. I mean, Millie Alcock's a very attractive lady, but I'm not whipping this fleshlight out in the cinema anytime soon. I've got some decorum.
yeah, because
Nice things there.
oh, why can't Showcase do stuff like that?
It is good. Move
The
over here.
flashlight I could definitely use,
Um, but
or research purposes only. I'm sorry, the design team on that, it's
yeah,
definitely a sex pervert.
so that's Crypto. There was a choice between Crypto, Supergirl, and Lobo. And yes, as a new man, I do feel a bit bad choosing the dog over Jason Momoa and the female protagonist. I'm a dog person. I love dogs. And there was Scooby-Doo and Crypto too, so this can sit nicely in the Scooby room. But yeah, this is just wild, isn't it? Like the fact that people saw this and no one went, hang on a minute, surely we can't put this out on shelves because it's like, where am I? Am I at the Odeon or Ann Summers? Um, yeah. So I've got the legendary
I
foreskin.
can't. The design on that one, how we got past screen and like, yeah, you know what? This is
What
great.
what
Yeah.
annoys me though is I did, and I'm not spoiling it. I did like the Supergirl movie. I really did, but I preferred the Superman movie. The Superman movie was my movie of last year, But the reason why I got no merch for the Superman movie is because for some reason they did like basically this exact thing with the Superman stuff at Odeon, except the whole logo, the S on the background was blue. I'm like, well, what's the point on that? It's meant to be yellow and red. So I feel a bit sad that I didn't get any Superman stuff because the logo was bad. But that being said, the foreskin wasn't enough to put me off this. But I'll
How
face
was
it like
Lobo's
that.
character in the movie?
So this is coming as a non-comic book person because I know that a lot of comic fans aren't happy with what, with a lot of things, but just being a fan of cinema, I liked Lobo. I think Jason Momoa for me, he kind of always plays the same guy, big, wacky, eccentric, but fun. I liked Lobo. I don't know if you're familiar with his comics,
From
if you
from the
like him, but
trailer, I feel
yeah.
like he's portraying Lobo as what I've seen in the comics,
Hmm. Well, the trailer's pretty much that's how he
and
always is
he
in the
does
movie.
put off really good. Um,
I think you'll be
from the
happy with
trailer.
Lobo. What I think they're doing though, if this and this might make
Honestly,
you
that's the only
happier,
reason why I want to see Supergirl is because of Lobo.
I think they will do
Um,
more stuff with
if he
Lobo,
wasn't
whether
in
that's
it,
a
I wouldn't
show.
go see it.
I feel like after how much I loved Superman, I'm more than willing to give anything in James Gunn's new universe a try. Like he could announce that there's going to be a spin-off about one of the flying squirrels or whatever, the flying monkeys from the Lex Luthor experiment, and I'd watch it because I feel like he's earned my trust as far as that goes. And obviously, he did Scooby and Guardians of the Galaxy. This is not what I would have done secondly, to be honest. Like, I do think there's a good space for Supergirl, but I think for his new universe, you want to come out like arms swinging. I almost would have done Superman, then followed it up with Man of Tomorrow and then expanded upon other members of the Justice Gang, and then did Supergirl as a maybe because you don't want to do too late, right? Because you don't want to have it like Black Widow, where you have a movie and you're like, this would have been quite cool 10 years ago. So definitely don't wait too long for Supergirl.
Well,
But this isn't
well,
what I would have
no,
done
Black Widow would
second.
have been better if it came out before. Well, you know,
Yeah, before
you know.
Endgame. So it
They
actually
did the
would have been
wrong
a
order.
really good Phase 2 movie. I think Phase 1 or Phase 2 would have been perfect. But to have it after the fact is just like, no, don't. And it was also hit with the shitty stick of being released on, I think, Disney Plus Premium or Premiere, which is what they did in lockdown. I know that Cruella and Black Widow had that, where when the cinemas were closed down. This is a bit of a COVID episode, actually, where the cinemas closed down. You could pay like what £20 and you've got access to
Yeah,
Cruella or something. I
I
think Black
hated
Widow
that.
had
It's
that.
like, oh, you can pay to see it stream, but I'm like, why?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
not the same experience.
I get the theory of it, and God, I'm trying to think what the first movie I watched out of lockdown was. I actually think it was Scoob, because Scoob was, I think there was Warner premiere. People in the comments can, because I know that was a thing in the Scooby
God,
community. But Blackpool Odeon
that
released Scoob,
disappointed me.
and I watched Scoob in the big screen. Oh, which one?
Yeah, oh, I hated that because the whole hype for Scoob is that it was going to be in the big screen and not this direct to video nonsense. It's like, finally, I was so hyped, waiting so I can book to see it, and then the lockdown happens, and I'm like, you fucking take it a piss. Then it all came
Y-
out digitally, and then after that lockdown, when you can go to the cinema, a selected cinemas would still screen it, and I was like, oh, none of my fucking area.
That's the one thing I was scared of with Spider-Man, No Way Home, is because I'm sure a new wave hit right around that time. And I'm just like, no, because I've seen
That
all the
that
fan theories,
comes out
like,
soon next month.
yeah.
The
And I'm
new
like, if
Spider-Man.
lockdown like delays Spider-Man, I'm gonna be, because I was working then as well, so I don't even know what payment I would be on. But um, yeah, I would have been like, I'd have been devastated if lockdown had delayed Spider-Man. Because I now actually, it was from Spider-Man to Spider-Man before Supergirl, new trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I'm really looking forward to. I can't tell which one I'm more looking forward to, Brand New Day or Doomsday. I think Brand New Day because I've always been a Spider-Man guy. I think he's my favorite superhero. But I think Doomsday will be cool. I just think anything Spider-Man, I love.
I'm probably going to be Spider-Man as well. Like Doomsday, I just don't really feel it
I think because they
because
fumbled
it's
so much of the build-up,
yeah.
haven't they? Like at the moment, because
I don't feel the
yeah,
hype.
like, I'm excited to see the original X-Men, sure, but that's because I've loved a lot of the other X-Men movies. That's nothing to do with the build-up of the other phases. It's just a shame because I think one of my favorite new Marvel movies was the Thunderbolts, but I think they marketed that so poorly, and I think they lost a lot of trust for other underwhelming projects that I feel like the Thunderbolts got a lot of like it didn't
New
really get its
Avengers,
shot, but I
the new
loved the
Avengers, the
movie.
Thunderbolts.
And I'd like to be a Thunderbolt. If I'd rather be a Thunderbolt than an Avenger, I think. But also I like Fantastic Four. It was just a bit like Captain America. You kind of feel like they were just wanting to get from point A to B, but it was still a fun ride while they were getting there. But I actually think the first Avenger, Captain America, the first Avenger, is quite underrated in hindsight.
I
But
quite
yeah,
like that movie.
me too.
I
Um,
just don't feel, I feel like that one and Winter Soldier are probably the only good Captain America movies.
See, I agree. I think really they should have made Civil War. Maybe not a full-blown Avengers, but I don't know how they would have done it. But I think Civil War should have been more like Avengers Civil War. Because Captain America Civil War was almost prompting you on what side to be on. And I think intelligently you could only really be on Captain America's side, but I would have preferred there to have been more nuance, like that there was a genuine discussion of whose team you should be on. And I think Avengers Civil War would have been a lot better. And I think it would have made a bit more money. I don't know. I think it would have made more money for them, but hey. So in terms of other kind of housekeeping matters, anything more going on with you? How's work going, or how's life in general?
So I'm now back on a steady track. So since swapping over to a new stool, it's manageable because now I can train 4 times a week. So I've come back from training today, so I did I think about 11-hour shift. Came home, went straight to the gym, and I'm doing this. It's
I
why
like
when
that.
you saw my um Toy Story 5 review, I was doing it in my car on my way home because even though I have free time, I'm using that free time to train for a strongman competition. So I don't really have time to sit down as I would and then do a video. So instead, I'll set a camera from my car, drive myself home, and just hit record and just talk about what review I'm doing.
Yeah. No,
But
100%.
okay, I'm still watching the road, and most people won't like that. Like, oh, he's recording himself while driving. He's got to get someone killed. It's like I wasn't a professional driver, but I'm an okay driver.
See, I was a bit worried at first, but I think so many vloggers, like if you look at vlogging channels, there's so many of them that do vlogging cars. As long as you've got your eye on the road, like I don't think that's a
I was
problem.
gonna think of doing a vlog, but it's like, what do I do? I wake up, eat, go to work, come home, train, and then shower, sleep, rinse and
Mm.
repeat. I don't
See,
really do stuff on because my day's off. So I get 3 days off a week now, but I always do one extra day at work as claimed overtime because you need the money in this economy, especially where our government's screwing us.
yeah,
So
like
I'll do about 60 hours a week.
oh yeah, literally.
Yeah, even though my contract's 30.
It's kind of crazy actually how much of life you spend working. It's like today was bloody busy and it's audits as well. But I won't get into my shit because it is genuinely boring. Like, and it's kind of I'm a bit more privileged that I don't need to speak to the great British public anymore. But when you think with because I had a moment of almost self-crisis on Monday, where I worked from 9 until 5, which is standard, right? But I just thought to myself afterwards, like, I've not taken a single moment away, and I've literally been balls deep in a spreadsheet that I actually genuinely don't care about, and I don't even fully understand it, just to send on to someone else who will probably not understand it to approve, to then get that approval sent to someone else. And I'm just like, what is life? Like, at what point? Because we're marvelous creatures, humans. I think we're such beautiful things to have come from where we did and then evolved all the way up to how intelligent we can be. And I just think, at what point did we inherit such a gorgeous green earth just to realize, you know what? We're going to spend all of our time working for a salary, balls deep in Excel spreadsheets that mean absolutely nothing. Like, where did we go so wrong? Like, the dinosaurs didn't have to do this shit, did they? They just ate and killed and shagged. Like they were just and
We're
yeah,
the new
like
dinosaurs, but we're
we're
making
literally
ourselves extinct.
like we're awful. We're genuinely awful people. Like how do we have trillionaires or a trillionaire in the world and yet you can work 60 hours a week and barely keep the lights on? Like how do we have such an effed society that this is normal and it's not, and the thing is, right, our generation I think is getting screwed over the most with all this, and yet if we complain about it, the next generation will go, oh well, when I was at your age I had a 5 bedroom house and I was married and I had dogs and stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, and then look what you did to our generation, but we can't complain about it because God forbid then we're woke millennials, we're soft wet wipes, and it's like, no, 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 if I'm working 60 days a week I should be able to afford the basic decency to enjoy human life. So I don't know where we went so wrong.
I get to enjoy myself sleeping. That's
Yeah,
my enjoyment.
literally. Like
Is knowing
if
that
I'm lucky, I'll
after
have a good
work,
dream.
after training, I get to come home, game for an hour, and then fall asleep. Like even I was looking back like 10 years ago, like when I was 21, 22. I had so much free time to do so many stuff. I was doing so many videos. I was more focused. And like now that I'm in my 30s, I can't do anymore because I need to do more hours to make more money this month to then make more money the next month. And it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to make sure that I got this much in the bank. And it's just like I don't really get time. That's why I film when I'm driving because where am I going to find that extra 20 minutes to set everything up to do a video? Then I have to edit it all, and like, even editing as well is just like it can't. If I do get a chance, but it's just like even my editing has to be quick and simple.
And yet, though, I feel like I am the perfect brainwashed worker in a way because I always try and approach every situation with gratitude. Like, yes, everything I've said is true. Why do we have a trillionaire and there's people working their bollocks off and they can't get by? At the same time, though, because I've got an office job, I think, okay, when I go to work, I clock in, I sit in an air-conditioned room. It could be worse, right? I could be down the pit, I could be doing manual labor, speaking to the great British public, but more than often, I can go to work knowing that I'm going to be able to come home afterwards safe and secure, knowing that I've put no real danger on the line. So at least I've got that to be grateful for.
You get
Um,
to go to work with AC, clock out
yeah,
at a decent time, go home, get some sex, and go to bed.
literally, you get
I
laid and
go
you
to
get paid.
work, come home, depressed, on the bed, sleep, no sex.
But then again, you are one of the great hosts of the BAM series, so I mean, you're better than most people on the planet. Because what other world do we get to do this? Where I've got a big T-shirt on, Sarah Michelle Gellar in the background, and little paper flags dangling there, like, and a big Scooby-Doo. That's the thing, right? When I go on a rant, I do mean it. I do think that's how society should be. At the end of the day, though, I do pacify myself in a way. I do think that's a big reason why alcohol's legal is to keep the workforce asleep to to the evil of the higher powers. But it's what I do with all this stuff, right? Like I've got enough disposable income to save up and buy this stuff, which I really don't need. I mean, look, I'm not starving. I've got money to buy foreskins from the cinema. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so I pacify myself
they're
fine. It's
giving them
just
away.
when you really stop to think about how messed up our society is, I think anyone could get wound up because we were cave people, right? We were cave people that worked for food, that worked for our partners, right? We were just simple cave people. We didn't have to worry about electricity. We all had the same. We all had the same. We all got what we earned. Some of us may go out, work twice as hard and get two saber-toothed tigers for lunch. Others might be lazy and they'd get a baby saber-toothed tiger, but that was fair because we all had the same chances, apart from people that needed glasses or were born disabled. But that's another discussion because we don't really think about like if we'd be fucked as cave people because we wouldn't be able to see anything. But by and large, we were all pretty equal. So at what point did we go from that gorgeous
We see
species
big shiny rock
to what
and
we have
smash.
now? I mean, think about the best house in London and then think about the worst council estate in Blackpool. Like, when did we get from cave people with equal opportunities to that ridiculous wealth inequality? And you think about that, and even when I'm in my air-conditioned office, I think, why? Like, why? What's the point? But
And
that's enough of my
everything has a
rants.
price tag on it.
It's
Like
just
everything. Eventually, they're gonna. You know how you get like a humidifier and that purifies the air in your house? Eventually, they're gonna design this big purifier that's gonna purify the air to have clean air. But we're gonna have to charge you people extra money to use this air. Eventually, they're going to make us pay for air. I guarantee you, in the next 10, 20 years, Elon Musk or some rich billionaire will build something like that, and then we're
literally.
paying for air.
He'll literally charge us to live, but there'll be different tiers. Like, don't forget, there'll be different tier subscriptions. Like Black Mirror, you'll have the worst air where you
Welcome to the
may
year
die of
2050.
suffocation,
We had to pay
or
for your air.
if you pay 10,000, you've got premium air, which means that you'll definitely be able to live. Like, and it sounds like a Black Mirror
With
episode, but it
premium air,
really is
you live
true.
beyond 50, but with regular air, you die at 50
And then I
because we
think
will cut off your oxygen supply.
even now we give up, well, I give up a lot of my earnings to pension. And do I believe that I'm ever going to retire? Absolutely not. Like, so I'm just
I
like,
worked out I'm still going to be working up until I'm in my 70s. That's how much this
to be honest,
this economy is crippling us because it's just going to get worse.
and I don't mind it if it was a good living. Like if I worked every day, like the old-fashioned, like the you know what I mean, like Homer Simpson. What did he do? He worked in a power plant at normal hours, but he still had enough to support three kids, a wife, a massive house, and pets, right? If that was my day, like if I could go to work and even if I worked, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, if I was coming back to a big house, a wife that didn't need to work and three kids that were in a reasonable position, that's fine. But when you're coming back to a pretty, I mean, I love where I live, but the area is pretty shitty. When I'm working all those hours and then I'm coming home to a shitty area, not enough space, I'm a bit like, is it worth it? Is it fair? Um, that being said, it is what it is. And there's very little we can do about it at the moment. But again, even the poorest person in the UK, surely you've got to think has a better life than um, those in the most affected areas of Ukraine or Palestine. So you can always say, well, we've got it better than those people. Maybe people in Ukraine will say, well, at least we're not dead. Um, and then the dead people, I don't know if there is an afterlife. I don't know what they're thinking, but hey, what a fun podcast conversation. Just
But
the nihilism
it's
of
when
life.
they say, "Oh, young people aren't buying houses." Mate, I'm 32 in August. I haven't got my own house. Can't fucking
Hmm.
afford my house. And what's really annoying is that banks and that I've never been in debt. I always pay off my stuff. And it's like they won't give out loans like Lloyd's won't because I have not been in debt. So they don't deem me as someone credible. Like, but I've taken all these stuff on finance and I paid them off monthly and continued with those payments up until the last payment bit and wiped it. And I've been doing that since um 2011. So, I've always kept a good credit score. I think my car is the only big finance plan because my car was 10 grand. So I paid it off over 5 years. But even then, the bank was like, oh, we can't give you a loan because we don't believe that you'll be able to pay it back. I'm like, what do you mean? You see my income, everything I get. And, there's like, and then they talk about a mortgage as well. You go put the debt down 10%, and then, then we can get the mortgage. And I'm like, I'd rather not.
See, that's the
It's a
thing. I
one
think
big
it's
joke.
a difficult life being single as well, because if I didn't have Millie, if we weren't a dual income household, I'd still be living with my parents. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that, but like to think you need two incomes nowadays to
Yeah.
rent a small place in a bad area is kind of a joke. But before we depress the viewers, because we could talk about, I mean, we probably will at some point talk about the economy for hours. We do have some interesting news in terms of Scooby-Doo actually, which is why I wanted to record so quickly because there's a lot of good stuff going on. Have you seen the design for Scooby-Doo? They've released the live action real life design for the Netflix Scooby.
So
Have you seen it?
I haven't yet because I plan to do a reaction video
Ah.
and a talk about video. So I want my general reaction to be as genuine as possible. Because I want to do a complete reaction to the trailer and all the drop news. I also want to do some talking videos as well on the cast and my predictions for what Netflix could go into.
I like that. I mean, we could do it now and then you could clip it, but I mean, my reaction is it is difficult. So I won't spoil it, but my initial thoughts are one, the way that they've presented Scooby means I don't think we're getting a voice actor. I know Neil Fanning really wanted the role, and he'd be my pick just because if we are getting a more realistic Scooby, I want that more gravelly, guttural, real dog type vibe that Fanning brought to the original two Scooby-Doo live actions, which was very similar to Don Messick actually in terms of graveliness. Frank Welker is a legend, no one's disputing that, but I don't think I can imagine the Frank Welker Scooby coming out of a real life dog, with real fur and all that stuff. Because I think Frank Welker's the perfect animated Scooby, and I think someone like Neil Fanning or someone with the Don Messick original vibe would be better suited to a dog. And even then, again, I'm not spoiling. I mean, it's Scooby-Doo Origins, right? So it's not a spoiler for me to say that it's a younger Scooby, right? Like a puppy Scooby. Could Welker or Fanning do a younger Scooby? I think they could. I mean, Welker did Scoob in Scoob, but whether or not audiences will buy that as a puppy, with it being on such a broad platform, I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Again, maybe I mean I'll watch your videos, I'll have a few comments, but people have been asking about what our thoughts on the live action Scooby is. And that's basically mine. I like what I'm seeing so far. I just want to see if they stick the landing, and I want to know sooner rather than later if we are getting a voice actor or
I'm
not.
I'm when I do my reaction video, I'm definitely going to compare it to Mystery Incorporated on YouTube's take. And I want to see if their first episode is better than theirs and than a fan made. Because I still believe that that fan made one should have kept going, but Warner Bros. Sent the cease and desist letter saying, "Oh, you posting more, we'll sue the crap out of you." And I thought that was real scummy because it's a fan, um, it's a fan non-profit, so it's under fair use. But that was what we needed. I think
Yeah,
I still claim that the reason why they did it was because um they're planning to do something of their own.
yeah. It
And up
was
the whole
stepping on their
Netflix,
toes.
yeah, because as soon as they said that, a few months later, Netflix announced theirs, and I'm just like, you should have really brought like, okay, well, look what you're doing, but how about you make it official and come over and work with us? That's what they should
Yeah.
have done.
or at least have them as consultants. Because what I love about what Dade, Jessica, and Chris, and oh God, I'm forgetting the name of Daff or Velma's actor. Really, really good job. But I'm forgetting. I'm so sorry. But that crew really got to the soul of the community. And I think having at least a Scooby-Doo expert would be good. You know, here's something we got in the Q&A actually, and that's what we would like for the series. And the thing that got me thinking of is I would like them to embrace the Scooby community a bit like how FNAF did. You know the FNAF movie had say Dorco, there were plans for Markiplier to be in the movie. You had Game Theory, MatPat in the movie. I would love for the Scooby Netflix show to really lean into this. Like think about the big boys of the Scooby community. I would love for NerdSync to have a cameo, Billiam to have a cameo, and they don't need to be big parts, but it's meant to be in a summer camp, right? So why not have Scott NerdSync as one of the camp counselors? Like I want them to lean into people that love Scooby. Um, that's what I want from them. I don't know if they will do it, but I would love for because I know instantly people, oh, we want Matthew Lillard as the new Shaggy's dad. Yes, I think that's a given anyway. If they don't do that, I think they're kind of crazy. But more importantly for me, because I do love Lillard, but I just want the sense that they're reaching out to Scooby people and they've got our best interest at heart. So I'd like to see a Nerd Sync cameo. Um, and Yeah, and it'd be easy to do remote. I mean, if we were more prominent in the community in terms of subscriber numbers, we could do it remotely as well. So there could be a sequence where they're trying to see if monsters are real, and then they could, we could have a Warner Bros. Get in touch with us, say, you two, pretend like you're doing a show about ghosts and monster sightings, what I mean? And then it could be us playing, like BJ or Marsh Mark, and we'll be discussing like, this summer camp in 1970 was overrun with monsters. Here's the real life proof. And then they could go, oh, we've seen that. You know what I mean? So anyone in the Scooby community, I think, could be involved in a Netflix show. I just don't think it will happen. And I think that's going to be such a shame, especially after how FNAF embraced their fandom. I'd like to
But
see
it all
Scooby do
comes
the
down
same.
to if Netflix botches it or not, because we've seen how um, Velma is something we don't talk about no more, but we knew that tanked, and that was a disappointment, and that ended up breaking my spirit because it got a second season and it got a Halloween special. So I'm just like, okay, Netflix, if they're doing live action, they have the budget because it's Netflix. They make us pay more for HD and they also make us pay more for ad free. So, you know, there is no spare, it's all John Hammond, spare no expense nonsense. You literally have the budget, make it good, make a
Yeah.
story worth watching so that I can come back to it like, yeah, this is rich in environment. Just make sure there's no Scrappy Doo, make sure there's no fucking bullshit, and just
I
keep
just
it to how
hate
we
the
like it. A
idea
couple
of
teens solving
origins
mysteries.
because I just
The
don't
name
want
could be a bit worked.
I just don't want the whole series to be how Mystery Inc. became Mystery Inc. They can maybe do that the first couple of episodes, but I really just want them to get down to business. I think
Yeah.
it's a bit like,
If if they want
yeah,
season one to be the origins, fine, but don't call the whole series Scooby-Doo Origins because that's to us is it's like making us telling us, oh, so it's only about the origins and then that's it. Because then you go and raise no one's saying what? All grown up. Well,
yeah,
just call
that's a
it
good idea actually. Yeah,
Scooby-Doo. That's all you need to call it.
yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Now on
And then
IMDb, they'll register it as Scooby-Doo 2026 or whatever. That's fine, but just Scooby-Doo is good. Scooby-Doo is fine.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, Scooby-Doo. Other Scooby news is
And who
oh
knows,
the
they might bring back Scooby Dum. Dum, dum,
I would
dum, dum,
love that.
dum.
Dum, 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 dum.
They should
Have you
definitely do
seen?
a Scooby Dum show where it's just him solving mysteries. Because I'll watch that.
Yeah, Yeah, 100%. Have you seen the new Scooby-Doo Funko Pop? There's a new Scooby-Doo Funko Pop being released. Um, I've not shared it, but you know who shared it most recently? Scooby-Doo and
Uh,
Cameron too, if you know him on Instagram. Shared a really, I think that was the official release. It's an homage to a scene from What a Night for a Night. You know when Scooby gets in the plant pot to hide and then pokes his head up and you've got like a bit of like dirt or compost on his head and like the plant's still there. Um, so I love that. However, I think we do have enough Scooby Funko Pops for now. To think we've got 25 Scooby-Doo pops. We've got five Shaggy pops, I want to say, but we only have one Daphne, one Velma, one Fred. We need more. So for all I love the Scooby pops, we just need more variations. And you could do them, like give us the live action variations of their outfits or the what's new variations of their outfits. Um, I just think just give us something with the rest of the gang because I love the Scooby one, nothing against it, but we need more love for the rest of the gang because why not? Why
or
not?
is it like the young versions of them?
It's like if you go, are you on Instagram, Scooby-Doo and
Oh, I
Cameron,
don't
or
really
just
use it anymore. This is the one thing for me. I don't really collect pops because of the space. That's my only downside with it is because once I start collecting one, I want to try and get them all because of my OCD. And then it's like I won't have any place to put them. It's not like when I go around my mate's David's, he's had a 3D printer, so he's printed his own frame to stick on the wall that fits perfectly a pop vinyl. So his entire wall is just housed with pops. That's great, but like I don't have space to put any pops, especially once I start playing Scooby-Doo. Like
mm,
my DVDs and VHS is like ever growing.
yeah, well, we had to build a new shelf there. I mean, just there we've got Scooby eating a sandwich, Christmas Scooby, Scrappy. Scooby eating Scooby snacks, Scuba Doo or Scuba Scooby, Purple Scooby, Captain Cutler, Shaggy, the Looney Tunes ones, Fred, Phantom Shadow, Ghost Clown. I mean, there's so many pops. I mean, this room's a hokum. So now on to the Q&A. This is the first one in a while that I publicly opened the anonymous ones. Very attractive. Um, To be honest, we didn't get that many wild ones for the anonymous ones, but we'll roll with it. First one being, have you ridden the newly updated Scooby-Doo roller coaster, and what do you think of the merch? So this is in Australia in Warner Brothers Movie World, and I haven't, but I really want to. It's on my bucket list to go to Australia anyway to see the filming locations on Tangalooma Island, and I will go there, but I've not been yet, which is a shame.
Okay, I have a confession to make. If it
Oh.
was anywhere else outside of Australia, I would have gone and ridden it. But it's not that I hate Australia, it's that I can't stand the spiders.
Yes. Okay, I'll
And
concede.
I don't have it in me to book on a flight and then worry that when I want to take a shit, I don't have to fully examine every crack and make sure there's no spiders hiding anywhere. And even if there is, they're big motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I can't stand the small ones, but hell no, I just
I
can't.
concede actually, because to me Australia is one of the most gorgeous looking places in the world with some of the best women, some of the most beefcakey men. But the spiders is a massive point against them. Yeah, I have to give you that. I will still go,
Yeah,
but I'm petrified. I'm an arachnophobe through and through, and yeah, I don't know what I'd
yeah,
do to
I
myself.
can't do spiders. I would go with you, but I just can't. I'll be up.
Like
I would never be able to sleep. I'll
the
be on
ones we
some
get around
medication to keep me
here.
awake.
Like there was one in my hallway maybe like 3 weeks ago now. Not massive by any stretch, but big enough for me to be absolutely
Yeah,
petrified. I just can't do spiders. Absolutely not. Um So yeah, that's brilliant. I can completely agree with that.
If it was anywhere else in the world, yeah, it could be in North Korea and I'll go and ride it. But or Australia with the spiders, I just can't. It just and people say, oh, but there's spiders all around the world. Yeah, but Australia has
Yeah,
spiders,
different
spiders.
gravy.
Yeah, they have next level mutated spiders, and I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah,
I do not want to
100%.
be eaten.
But the merch is good. I will go on. I'm gonna vlog going, but I don't think it'll be in the immediate
You'll
future
be on
because
it, and all of a sudden, this big spider falls on you.
the tickets very expensive. The travel and I want to stay on Tangalooma Island as well. And that is not a cheap place. So yeah, we will park that for the moment. But that is very good. The next question is, if Scoop Holiday
Oh man,
Haunt
just thinking about
actually does
spiders
get
freaks me.
saved, would you rather it get a theatrical release or would you rather it get a streaming release? And I think
For a holiday
theatrical.
haunt,
Yeah.
it has to be theatrical. Like it's technically done. It's all done. It's sitting in their vault. You know what we should do? We should do a heist. Me and you gather some other people, and we're Mission Impossible this, and we'll
Yes.
just steal it from them. Or we could do what
Ah,
Nicolas Cage done in Treasure, National Treasure, and steal
you know what
and
it
steal it
reminds me
right
of
from
when
under
you
them.
said that? You know when that thing happened on the internet years and I don't know how many years ago now, but where there was like a massive Facebook event where like thousands of people were attending and it's let's storm Area 51. They can't stop all
Yeah.
of us. So we should do that like let's storm Warner Brothers for Holiday Haunt. They can't stop all of us. And just have like a massive revolution. Like, let's get the footage. Like they can't stop all of us. Um, that's in jest, by the way, Warner Brothers. I'm not trying to incite a riot, but I mean, they can't
Not
stop
a,
all of
if you
us.
release it, we won't riot, but we will.
Literally, they can't stop all of us. Let's get the entire UK out to Warner Brothers and we'll get Holiday Haunt. Because what I think they should do is they should release it earlier. Like, I'd want to see Holiday Haunt in cinemas from the 1st of October. And I'd want it to run all throughout the season, all throughout December. But I think once it gets to the 1st of December, it should get a concurrent DVD release and Blu-ray. So that way you can enjoy it on the build up to Christmas in the cinema and through Christmas if you want to. But I think you should also be able to take it home with you on DVD before the actual Christmas day. Um, so that's what I'd want. Because I'd love to see Holiday Haunt. I will not give up hope that we will see Holiday Haunt one day. But whether or not that's in the immediate future or not, I don't know. But I still believe we will see Holiday Haunt. You can call that copium or not.
They
Let's
have
see.
to release it,
They do. They do.
but it has to
Next
be theatrical.
Next question. Who is your favorite Scooby-Doo character? And the person I think at me has said, and you cannot say Daphne, which is difficult.
Uh,
God, who's my favorite character other than Daphne?
mine's obvious.
Is yours Shaggy?
No,
The Loch Ness Monster?
hell no.
Scooby? Or is it Velma?
No,
Who is it? Tell me. Reveal your secrets.
it is. Drum roll, please. Scooby Dub.
I like that.
Yeah, technically, he's Scooby's cousin and part of the family, so he
I
counts.
like that. So Scooby-Doo character. I like Scooby-Doo.
And
Did you ever get?
my second favorite is Sheriff Bronson Stone from
Mm,
Mystery Incorporated. Love the voice actor. I love the character himself, and they should definitely do a spin-off show with that character.
agreed. Patrick Warburton really brings a whole new level of life to that. It's like you just destroyed a very important revenue stream of revenue. Like it's so good. My favorite character of it, I love Shaggy. I must say, I really do love Shaggy. He just seems like such a bohemian guy. Kind of a maverick before that word was ruined. So I like Shaggy. I'll say it'll be Mr. Shaggy if I can't have Daphne, but Scooby's still good. Um, Oh, here's an interesting question actually, and it was kind of talking about what we were saying before. Would you want to be involved in the Scooby-Doo Netflix show? If so, in what capacity? Now I've mentioned cameos, but apart from that, do you have anything that you'd want to kind of do in the Scooby-Doo Netflix
Yes,
show?
I want to be the tar monster.
Oh.
I
Would you do
would
like
love
a
to
motion
play.
capture, or do you think you'd be like a voice of the CGI monster instead?
I want to be in full costume. Like I definitely want to play a villain in Scooby Doo, and if they ever cast for the tar monster, I'm the guy.
Here's what I will say, and they will never do this, but if there is a UK premiere or even the mainstream US premiere, I think we probably should get invited to it. And when I say should, I don't mean as far as with that important to Scooby-Doo fandom,
But crash
not
at
at
the
all.
event.
But I want to say that given what we've done in terms of carrying Scooby through the years where we didn't have DTVs, all the interviews, everything that we've uncovered, and everything that we've kind of put out into the universe, I feel like it would be a good, especially with the live action movies, to be honest, because that was like our MO. I do feel that the right thing to do would probably be for us to be at one of the premieres. Um, but I don't, I mean, we definitely won't be invited. But I do think it would be right. Because at the end of the day, right, what they'll do is they'll have all the big influencers there, which I think is right, because you've got lovely creators like Taya Miller who will go to the premiere and she'll broadcast that whole event to her gazillion followers, which will give Warner Brothers and Netflix infinitely more value than 10 of us showing up there. So in terms of value, um, obviously go with the big influencers, which they will do. Um, but I think in my heart, I feel like we should be invited to the premiere, but we definitely won't be. But never say never. I mean, maybe some Warner Brothers execs seeing this and think, oh yeah, you know what? They really did bring a whole new revelation to the
Well,
live action
considering all the
movies.
videos and stuff we did for them,
I mean, just think all the
because to
deleted
be honest,
scenes from, yeah.
we're
All the
still
deleted
keeping
scenes from the first movie, the hidden monsters from the second movie, interviews with, the biggest names of those movies and bringing it back to a cultural phenomenon. Not
except for
us
the person who
single-handedly,
made
obviously
Return to Zombie
not,
Island.
but like I think we should be there. Um, Even if it's because they'll probably do an LA one and a London one. Um, we
I
should
went to
be
go scratch my ear and I knocked off my headset.
there. Do you think we'll be invited, Mark?
I should be invited.
I
After all
think
the
so.
kind things I said about Scooby-Doo and how much I hated Scrappy, how much I predicted with my foresight abilities how Velma was going to be shit, and it was.
I mean, there's stuff that
I'm like
we've
the
done.
Messiah. I have a gift.
You're
I
like
can just
Scooby
tell by these
Jesus.
things. Like I knew Scrappy was a disappointment. And what they do? They brought in Scrappy in Velma. I didn't even see the season two. I just knew they were going to bring in Scrappy because that's how predictable they are. I'm the messiah
Um,
of Scooby Doo.
there's some stuff that we've done that I think will be off-putting. Like when I went, because I went for Warner Brothers when they cancelled Holiday Haunt, and I went for them when they cancelled Haunted High Rise. Like we've never centered our opinions about that.
Well,
Um,
I also went after them when they released Return to Zombie Island,
yeah,
and
so
it
we've
was
been
just a disappointment on my childhood because that was the movie that hit me the most. It was like
like,
Zombie Island was my most favorite scoop. It's number one. It's still number one. It is the best. It's perfect. Every single detail of that movie is superb. The soundtrack, the theme, the area, the location. It's just it was done before digital took over, and I just thought they had one chance to bring it home and give us a good sequel. Even though we didn't need a sequel, we didn't need one.
hmm,
I
we
was
didn't.
promising I was hyping them up, like giving them all the credit for the reactions and the sneak peeks, and then they release it as though they took a shit in my mouth, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, nah. That's when they became my enemy.
But that's
I
why
don't hold
we've never
back.
been the creators that have got like the early or the free Warner Brothers DVDs because of those opinions. Um, so even if we did have millions of followers, we were in America, I still don't think we'd be invited just because like we
Nah.
don't censor anything. Like we're not, Mr. Rooting Tooting wholesome content. We very much are distinctly quirky, British. We swear. We have
We
controversial
speak our
opinions.
mind.
Um, and I'd actually rather have had the career we had on YouTube that we did speaking our minds than, um, this is the best thing in the world. We love Return to Zombie Island. Look at this wholesome video. Oh, we're going to the premiere next year for Scooby-Doo on Netflix. Like, I'd rather what happened than that. But that doesn't change the fact that I think the right thing to do would be for us to be there. Um, but hey, when does the right thing ever happen? And actually, I think NerdSync has released a campaign for him to go to the US one. And I think there's a good chance of that happening, and I think it should happen. So if there ever is a voting ballot for whichever big Scooby creator, so I'm not including myself within that, gets to go to the premiere and stuff, my vote's on NerdSync and Billiam because I think they've genuinely brought it to a
What
wide audience. Um,
what I think we should do the next time there's a Comic Con and Matthew Lennard's there, we should get a petition, sign a bunch of names on there saying release Holiday Hunt, and just go to him for in here. Could you sign here? He goes, what's this? This is a petition so Warner Bros. Can release Holiday Hunt.
I like that. See, when
But
McKenna
since I've
Grace
already paid for the signature, you have to sign it.
If McKenna Grace comes back to the UK or comes to the UK, I'm gonna get a Holiday Haunt thing signed. That's for sure. But yeah, oh, here you'll love this next question. Can you confirm or deny the rumor about whether Sheriff Bronson Stone was meant to appear in Scoob Holiday Haunt, voiced by Patrick Warburton? And I don't know if you remember this interview, but I can confirm that yes, he was going to return in Holiday Haunt. That was confirmed by the direct or the co-director, Michael Korinsky. In the interview, we did two interviews with him and Bill Haller, the other co-director, both great directors of that. Um, so yes, Sheriff Bronson Stone was meant to appear and had recorded lines, I believe, because I think recording was all done. So yeah, 100%. Sheriff Bronson Stone as Patrick Warburton was going to appear in Holiday Haunt. The question does then follow up with to what extent would he appear? And I don't know if it was a few lines, one line, or if he was there throughout. Maybe if Mr. Krinsky or Mr. Holler see this video, they can comment on that. But yeah, I know he was definitely meant to be in the movie, but I don't know how much. So has that made you want Holiday Haunt even more, Mark?
I still want it because it was made and they purposely shelved it when it was complete. So, as the child like I am, when a grown up has made something and then put it away that it can't be looked at, I wanted to see it even more.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
just want to rip off the shrink wrap, press play, and see what possessed them to be like, okay, we're 99% done. The only thing we have to do is the credits. That is all. And then we can release it. Now, you know what? I don't really see this movie no more. Let's just shelve it in the archives and never talk about it again. Of that Kiss sequel that we were promised to get and we never did. Or the Hex Girls movie. We never got that.
Maybe it's because
But they
Zaslav's the worst
but
CEO in
but
the
they keep
world.
selling the Hex Girls merch. They keep putting them on every single series. Like because they were in
Yep.
Velma, and I'm just like, you're throwing them out there to us, but then you cancelled their own show. You
Yeah.
cancelled the movie with them. I'm just like, and you're still putting out these merch and get these T-shirts with the Hex Girls. I'm thinking, are you serious right now?
Yeah, like you can acknowledge their value, but you can't acknowledge the value of the work that writers and
Yeah,
animators and you put into giving them to a new generation. It's just, and the thing is, right? I'll get onto this with SAG-AFTRA stuff I've spoke, but you know the creators of the Hex Girls, Rick Kopp and David A. Goodman, they created the Hex Girls in The Witcher's Ghost. They don't see a penny from the merchandise, and I don't think subsequent appearances that they didn't write, which I think is absolutely criminal. You think about, say, how things work in the UK television, maybe it's changed, but you hear about Doctor Who, the fact that we got the Daleks in Looney Tunes back in action because the creator of the Daleks, Terry Nation, owns the rights because he created them. So Terry Nation will give permission for the BBC to use it. His estate will get money from that residuals. And he can take that work to, say, Looney Tunes if he wants to, if they're out of contract. And I think that's how it should work with this stuff. Like, I don't see a world where it's fair that Rick Kopp and David Goodman don't get money from their creations being used to make money. It really irritates me, that we live in that type of construct where they've created iconic characters and they don't get a penny from it, I guess, apart from possible residuals from every time someone gets a Witcher's Ghost DVD. Um, but yeah, I mean,
better buy some more Richard's Ghost DVDs.
literally, yeah, let's do that. Like, thank you to these amazing,
Mark, why
amazing
do you buy
writers.
this every single month? Well, it helps the original creators, of course.
Yeah, which is brilliant. I mean, who wouldn't want to help the fathers of the Hex Girls? I mean, it's like iconic. It's iconic. Um, oh, I don't know if you'll know this person, but another question we've got is, are you going to interview Scooby-Topia at some point? Now I like Scooby-Topia. In fact, if you see our last interview ever trailer, that was all edited and thumbnailed by Scooby-Topia. And
Who's
for the record,
Scooby-Topia?
look at YouTube. Yeah, and for the record, actually, I'll say this because I said this on Twitter. But Scooby-Topia did have some drama a year or so ago now, and I guess now is a good platform for me to say publicly that I fully support Scooby-Topia against any controversy, and you should subscribe to Scooby-Topia. I think Scooby-Topia does amazing videos, and to be honest, I have not been keeping up with other Scooby creators lately, but since we left, I feel like Scooby-Topia is one of the creators that's really keeping the fandom going. So yeah, huge shout out to Scooby-Topia. Like, comment, and subscribe to them because yeah, really good stuff going on. As far as interviewing, I don't think he seems like the type of creator that is up for that. I think it's more video essays than speaking. But if we were to ever, maybe not an interview, but have like a third host, a guest host to join in the discussions, and if Scooby-Topia was interested in, yeah, I mean, if you would be down for a guest host one week, 100% Scooby-Topia would be great for
Yeah,
that, I think.
I'll just
Um,
subscribe to him. I don't know Scootopia had a yeah.
hmm, really good videos. I've not watched the last couple. The last one I watched was oh, it was him playing. Do you remember this? Jinx at the Sphinx, the old PC games. There was the one about the
Yeah.
knight, the Chinese dragon, the Sphinx. I've got such nostalgia for those games. I think I've got some.
I've still got them.
I've got them somewhere. I can see in front of me. The Monsters Unleashed PC game. Oh, I'm lying. There we go. Jinx at the
I had
Sphinx.
they won't play on our normal up-to-date Windows 11. You have
Yeah,
to
such nostalgia.
um you have to download an application which makes you run. I don't know how someone explained it. It's like you're having a Windows XP, so you can play the PC games
Almost
through
like an
that
emulator
application.
type thing.
Yeah, so you put in the disk and you run it through the application and it plays because it's running through the application and not Windows.
I like that. Um, Next question, and I think you've already answered this to be honest, but it's would you rather see a Vincent Van Gogh spin-off show or a Sheriff Bronson Stone spin-off show?
Obvious. Sheriff Bronson Stone.
And I couldn't agree more. You could
It's
do
the most
more. You could do
underrated
more.
character. And I'm just like, that's what, honestly, Mystery Incorporated, what stole the show for me wasn't just the gang and seeing them grow and evolve like people do with our friends over time, but we also saw connections made and also background characters like the sheriff, the mayor, all having these roles that were reoccurring and had an impact to the townsfolk who actually mattered. And it was the first season series of Scooby-Doo that done that, where everything was recurring, and it wasn't just
Mm,
like a random
yeah.
episode each time.
Yeah,
It
not
was
just
all a
bottle episodes. It
continuation.
was
Yeah,
cause
so
and
you get
effect.
to 8 episodes later and you're recapping what you've done on the second episode. I'm like, damn, I forgot all about that. This is super.
Yeah,
Uh,
really good. Really good.
it
Uh,
was the first one that showed great character development.
a couple more. Oh, okay. Here's an interesting one. I never thought about this, surprisingly. Should Scooby-Doo Origins have been animated? Um,
Hmm. Oh, oh,
thing is, I want to say Scooby works broader when it's animated because live action's my favorite. But I don't think Netflix
it's
would touch a animated Scooby. I think to get the platform it has, to get the hype it has, it had to be live action. But that's not an indication of quality. So if Scooby-Doo blows up in the next 5 years in terms of popularity, it's all down to it being live action on Netflix. That's not debatable. But whether or not that's good for us as fans that have been following it for all that time, I don't know.
it's like I still want to see a direct to video animation of Scooby-Doo. We haven't had one in a long time. I still want to see an animated Scooby-Doo show. We ain't got one in a while. And I am not classing Velma, the audience watching, okay? Velma doesn't count in this category as a Scooby Doo show, in my eyes at least. I want a genuine Scooby Doo animation like TV show. I also want two direct videos a year. What happened, Warner Bros? You were on top of everything. A series to keep us going through the middle of the year. We had a movie at the start of the year and one towards the end of the year. The years were perfect. They were the best. And then it all went downhill.
Here's a question that I've just thought of. Do you think, as a fandom, we would accept hybrid Scooby as far as, like back in the day where big franchises were getting TV shows en masse? So you'd get the Kung Fu Panda movies, but then on, say, like, I don't know if it was Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or whatever, but you'd get like Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness, and stuff like that. So do you think it would work? And that was the same medium, all animated, but do you think something like that could work as far as you'd have Scooby-Doo Origins, big season one, maybe 6 or 8 episodes, and that will air 2026, for instance, and then in 2027, while they're working on the next live action, you get an animated series like Scooby-Doo Origins, the animated series, where they'd have a season of maybe like 12 episodes, all animated. You'd get McKenna Grace as Daphne, same cast voicing the characters, and you'd get a series of Monsters of the Week, maybe inconsequential stories. And then in 2028, it would be Scooby-Doo Origins Season 2, which is the same canon, but maybe they make brief references to the show. So we could almost do one live action and then inconsequential stories as animated in the next year. Not to say that animations are lesser medium, but I think they'd be more likely to put big plot events on the main big Netflix show than an animated counterpart. That would be something maybe that they could do, like Legend of Awesomeness. But I don't know. Do you think we'd accept it?
I, I personally just wanted them to go back to the old format where nothing was wrong. We were still buying it, it was still popular. And like now, it's all just focused on streaming. Let's focus on streaming. HBO failed. Let's do Netflix. And it's just like we're never gonna get those on physical media. So for a collector standpoint, we'll just have to like watch it for a screen, knowing that we can never have it part of the actual collection.
Yeah, which is awful because the whole point is that collecting aspect. But evidently they just weren't making money. I don't know. It's sad because I'm looking at the shelves now and just Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2 is just sat there as the last one, and you just think, like, how did we how did we get to the point where that's the last one
It's
when we
depressing
were,
when you look at it. It's just like we went from getting two a year to getting none for years, and now I
and I feel
first thought
that
they were gonna.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been a few years, and it's just like I honestly feel like they were gonna cancel Scooby at one point, and we're gonna get no more. And now we're doing all this streaming stuff. It's like I just want you to go back to the old format, Warner Bros. I know your studio's in a mess because you sold most of it all, but at the same time, it's just like I really wish you would have Scooby-Doo as an open source so that other companies like Paramount or stuff like that can come over and keep Scooby-Doo going.
Yeah. And it's a shame because I feel like we were on a pretty good run. Like I like Sword and the Scoob, I like the Courage crossover, and I like Trick or Treat a lot. Um, and Crypto too, because of how much evidently I've grown to like crypto, has aged very well on me. So it's a shame that we've kind of given up almost. But hey, we'll see where things go. Last question. Jada Toys is doing Scooby-Doo figures. What characters do you want to see as an action figure? Uh, is your Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo, Sheriff Stone, and the Mayor from Mischievous,
Nice,
Inc.
yeah, nice. I like that. I'm kind of gonna go with the same, some underrated side characters. I'm gonna
And
go.
Pericles. Got to give my boy Pericles his own figuring,
I'm
holding on
gonna
the
go
planespheric disc.
Coco Diablo and Del Chillman, but I want Del Chillman to have a playset where the Loch Ness thing is that, or the snowmobile, from the
Minor
Yeti movie.
49er.
What about? I was gonna say minus 69er then, but without the context of that being down the mines, that's a completely different character.
He was mining something different that day.
Minus 69er is in the Epstein files 69 times. Minus 69er. That's a ridiculous way to end the episode.
Or
But
the
hey,
oh, oh the creature from Cyberchase. What was his name in the end?
oh,
I forgot.
you got Phantom Virus.
Phantom Virus. That's it. Yeah, let's do a figure on that guy and have him light up.
Yeah, the Phantom Virus. The Phantom Virus would be cool. Even like a glow soda that they had with the
Let's
Creeper as
play
the
ball.
Phantom Virus. Like, let's
I, I,
not.
I don't get me wrong. I like the movie. I just wish it was a series.
Yeah.
Because some of those levels could have been explored in depth a bit more. And I'm like,
Yeah, like
they
the
kind of rushed
garden
it. They
episode with
they
the big
started it off well.
insects.
Yeah. I feel like the original idea from their point was like explore each of these levels. But I feel like they forgot the length of the movie and thought, okay, we're going to cut most of these levels.
And the only interesting level for me anyway was the prehistoric level. Because you get I mean the moon was fine, but then you've got Colosseum and the last level, which is basically just the real world.
Yeah.
Whereas I think they missed out a lot of like the underwater episode would have been awesome. The garden level with the massive insects would have been awesome. Even the knight in shining armor would have been cool, but no, we settled with the kind of most bland ones. But I think that does us for today. I know this has been a bit of a longer episode, but we did have a lot to cover, and my rants about the economy and residuals and rights of
And how
animating
our country's
writers.
being led by a cat.
Well, I think if it was led by a dog, we'd be in a better position. Because could you imagine Crypto running everything? I think Crypto would do a great job, wouldn't you? Crypto? I'd vote for Crypto, and I wouldn't vote for this fleshlight. But hey, but yeah, Mark Marsh, where can people find you on the
Um,
worldwide fleshlight?
you can find me on YouTube because that's the only platform that I acknowledge anymore. I've given up on X, um,
Well, I'm not sure
and
what X is,
Instagram.
but I've given up on Twitter as well.
Ecstasy.
Um, but yes, this will be on Mark Marsh's YouTube channel. So comment
Oh,
down
Breaking
below.
Bad. Who we talked about earlier about any TV
Oh
shows.
yeah,
Breaking Bad. I've been
I like
rewatching
you.
that.
But I'll be sharing this episode out on Instagram and Twitter. Um, so that'll be fantastic. But the only place you can find me is the basement of Mark Marsh. So
Which
if
is
you're
off
looking for
limits. I
me,
only let him out to do these videos.
well, that's,
So
yeah,
afterwards, I've got to put him back in.
I'm like Mariah Carey. You like you defrost me when it's Christmas. So now this is me being defrosted, hopefully every month, maybe, for episodes. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Again, I kind of apologize if I was a little bit shaky in this one. I am still finding my content creator slash podcaster legs. So hopefully by the time we get to the next episode, I'll be fully back to normal. But yeah, thank you so much, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
And turn on those post notifications.